Okay, guys, how's everybody doing today? I'm here to bring you my review of How to Get Away with Murder Season 1, Episode 3. But before I go ahead and get into Episode 3, let me go ahead and give you guys a background of what How to Get Away with Murder is all about. So, the series focuses on a law professor called Annalise, or named Annalise. And basically, what she's doing is she's teaching you how to practice, even though she says she doesn't teach you how to practice it. She's teaching you how to practice and study law in a real setting. So she takes these students to court, these select few students to court, and she goes over various cases, and she actually helps her, which is the lawyer or attorney, compile all this information and help the client, or so to speak, whoever's on trial, to be innocent and to get off with little to no time. Now, this is a very good series because this doesn't focus on the professor, but it also focuses on each individual character within the series. And there's a lot of them, But one of the main characters I want to focus on is Wes, and he's heavily emphasized within the series. Wes is a character who not only is not only the most interesting character within the show, in my opinion, but he's also the one that tends to seek out the most information. You know, he's not so much I'm trying to get everything right, but what is the right way to do this specific task, and it's very interesting. So there is one thing that happens. This is kind of spoilers, but I'm gonna go ahead and mention it's really not a spoiler because it's shown within the first couple of seconds within the first episode. So there is a big underlying issue with this series in case nobody knows what's going on. So a white girl is, or excuse me, not a white girl, but a girl is murdered within the series, and Annalise has a husband named Sam. Sam is a philosophy professor, and he knows this girl. He has a connection to this girl. He's known her for a couple of years, and he says that this is my favorite student. So Annalise is speculating that Sam has something to do with this unfortunate murder of the girl. And she's basically trying to ask a series of many different people within the series to investigate Sam to see if he is indeed the killer. And if he is, then he needs to be dealt with. He needs to go to trial. Something needs to happen. And there's also something going on with Annalise, which I told you is the main character, and this other guy named Nate, which is another character that comes within the episode. I think it's the first episode. So yeah, so there's a lot of stuff that goes on within this series, and you just really have to keep track of everything. It's a very, very good series, and I love it. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into episode 3. So episode 3 is focusing on Wes trying to prove Rebecca's innocence. And what he does within this episode is so genius. I was kind of speculating it because of the first scene that I saw, but it was very, very good nonetheless. And I think that if he would have structured his sentences a little more and just really thought about what he said and really gave her the real reason of why he was there, then maybe she wouldn't have been as skeptical as to get this guy out of there, because Rebecca was basically saving face for Wes, and she didn't want him to get caught up in anything. She didn't even know that he knew as much as he did. But if Wes would have just told her what was going on and the reason of why he was there in the first place, then this could have all been avoided, and she wouldn't have did what she did later on within the episode. Also, O'Reilly, if you don't know who the O'Reilly is, he was the guy that was basically with Rebecca, and he basically set up everything in terms of like the drugs and everything, and he pretty much pinned everything on Rebecca because he's a star football player at a university. He knows he has like a lot of money. His family is really rich, wealthy, and he doesn't want to get caught up in this stuff. I mean, let's just be real. He wants to go to the NFL. He wants to be this famous person. And the only way that he can do that is by pinning a crime that he pretty much did or was involved in or was an acquaintance in to his girlfriend or whoever Rebecca was to him at that time, which I think he was kind of cheating on him. So Nate is the character that I was telling you guys about that Annalise was messing around with in the first couple of episodes. And basically Annalise told Nate to go and find information about Sam regarding his speech. And the lady basically told Nate that he wasn't even there on that day. He didn't even show up. He said he had a stomach ache. So that even goes into more speculation regarding Sam's character and his credibility as a truthful person within this series to Annalise. So, uh, yeah. So I mean, that was really interesting. You know, I really enjoyed seeing that within the first couple of episodes, especially when they introduced it. So, uh, like I said, Wes decides to become a lawyer. It doesn't go over well, and that's pretty much just throws a whole wrench in everything. And Annalise is basically she is now Annalise, which I told you Annalise is just in shock. She's in shock. But later on, you figure something else happened within the episode that just pretty much throws a whole wrench on this whole conspiracy theory regarding Sam. So, Michelle, I may be mispronouncing your name. I'm sorry about that. So, Michelle is going through something with her, uh, the person who she's engaged with. And it's funny because one of the characters and her partner, so to speak, had a fling, and they were both guys, so you kind of speculate that they were fooling around. But that was when they were 16. It really wasn't anything too big, just like the guy said. It wasn't anything too strenuous. You really didn't have to worry about it. It was just something that he was just kind of experimenting. And Sheila was upset about that. Shayla was upset about that. She kind of wanted to sever ties with her boyfriend, but you know they patched things up, and everything was pretty much good with that. So they find closure for that. So now, towards the end of the episode, and this is going into spoilers. I'm sorry guys, but I want to address this because this is one of my favorite series. I told you guys I was going to review it, so I'm going to go into spoilers here. Annalisa kind of finds closure to her theory regarding Sam. So basically, what's going on is Sam is, I guess he's innocent because Nate researched everything, just like Annalise told him to do. He researched everything, and he found out that this guy is basically innocent. He can't really find too much on him, with the exception of he didn't show up for the speech, and he wasn't there for one day on a Friday, and that was between the hours of like 6 and 12, and he wasn't there. So that's the only thing they can pretty much find on him. So he didn't want to kind of speculate too much, so he basically said that he was innocent, and that's kind of where the episode ends. And it kind of leads to the next episode. It kind of gives us kind of a insight on the next episode. So, with that being said, guys, I thought this episode was very good. I'm definitely going to continue to review How to Get Away with Murder because it's definitely a good series. And also, I just received a tweet that this season is now going to be 15 episodes instead of the original 10. So that's definitely good, guys. So I'm going to look out for some of my later episode reviews for this series, How to Get Away with Murder. And with that being said, guys, I'll check you guys later in another video. Peace. Sayonara. Stay cool.